for having any cannabis on school property. And well, there's one more that I missed. What else was a really bad one? Yeah, there we go. Back 2451 to 2452. So, oh, that's what's coming behind. And then we also killed a bill that would have allowed DCS investigators to undo Arizona NORML's win. We won 2 years ago in the Court of Appeals with a decision that allows patients who are pregnant to consume on the advice of their doctors and not face a protracted DCS investigation and risk losing their case. So we successfully fought a bill on that court. So those are our wins. Those are your wins. Thank you so much for being members of the cannabis community and showing up for Arizona NORML.
All right.
So when we originally took this gig, it was what was the bad policy that we could block. Now it's how many people can we get on board with the pro-cannabis agenda to actually proactively bring things forward. And in Arizona NORML's vision of what Arizona should look like with regulation of cannabis, part of our agenda is opening the market. We saw a micro license bill that would have allowed small business marijuana producers in Arizona. It was a flawed bill, but it was a bill that we helped along, and hopefully we'll see that back next year. We also saw a bill that would have helped open delivery rules are being written right now. They're being written in a way that small folks from out of town can't deliver into Maricopa County. It also means that some of our rural patients who still have trouble accessing their medicine are going to continue to have trouble accessing their medicine. We also we hope to see a bill come back next year to do an interstate compact, because as you know, we're perilously close to allowing interstate commerce on cannabis, and when that happens, we want Arizona to be a part of it, right? We are one of the sunniest states. We want Arizona weed to flow out, and we want California weed to flow in. So that's kind of our radical cannabis agenda looking forward, and we did get one proactive thing over the finish line, which was protection of the delivery process in Arizona. We were successful in passing 1410. On the political front, I am up here to remind you of two things. A, there's an election going on, and the things that impact your life the most, you're not going to find at the top of the ticket. You're going to find in the middle or the bottom. There are issues like county races, there are issues like your state house races, and if you are registered to vote, just give us a shake your hand and go register. Not going to help get you registered. It's a little too late for the primary, but it gets you registered to the general.
I have the QR code with me.
And that vote might be one of the most important that you take. So Arizona NORML is in the general election. We do a candidate guide to let you know who your pro-cannabis legislators are. If you have any questions about your primary ballot, we are also here for you. We can tell you the history of certain incumbents and how they voted on Arizona NORML's agenda. Last, because I am obnoxious and my time is almost up, today is your very last day to sign for initiatives and referenda. So a lot of folks I know are drawn to advocacy because they recognize our need for bodily autonomy to control, what happens with your own person. And if you haven't signed on the abortion amendment, I have that here for you. Again, no pressure. Last, we are tagging in Allison for some DCS news because we did get one additional very cool thing over the finish line. I know it's so good, right?
It's SB 1664. It is for a tiered central registry. Those of you that have had DCS cases, the central registry is basically where bad parents go for 25 years. And this ranges from anybody that's literally abused their child to somebody that's consumed marijuana while pregnant. So Senator Gowan came up with this tiered DCS idea, and by sometime in September of 2025, DCS is set to write the rules and come up with a way to remove people from the central registry.
Yeah, there's about 1,400 Arizona families that have been affected by this for no other reason than involvement with cannabis. and it makes them unemployable for about 25 years in any healthy profession. So it's a really big deal. You'll hear from us on advocacy as those rules get made, and then we hope by 2026, not only will Arizona NORML be able to continue to offer the legal exemptions we have on felony and misdemeanor convictions, but also help people get off the central registry if you're somebody who's been affected. All right, master ceremonies, is there anything I missed? Fans were fantastic. Please sign, please vote.
Listen, the one thing that Arizona NORML does the worst at is getting our message out what we do. We're horrible at that. And we know what we do, but everybody in this room doesn't know what we do, and that's what we want to do. And let me tell you something, that through the legislative year, Allison and Julie and John Udell, who's not here this evening, they spent incredible amounts of hours down at the state capitol advocating for the cannabis community, advocating for patients' rights, for consumer rights, for good cannabis law. That I cannot say enough of how much they do and how awesome they are and how much time and dedication and heart that they put into it. So again, they're the heart and soul of Arizona NORML. We down at the Capitol. Again, there's many other people that are behind the scenes as well, but down at the Capitol talking to our lawmakers. They're the ones that are doing it. And on that note, though, that's when we need to hear from our constituents so that we know what to take. We don't just go off on our other duties. We're not just doing this stuff and saying, we need to hear from every single one of you what your concerns are. So later on, when we start, because the political season is over now for 2024. So later on in the next few months, we're gonna, at one of our meetings, we're gonna pull out a whiteboard and we're gonna literally write, we're gonna say, what's important to you? And we're gonna write it down, and that's how we make our legislative agenda for the next year. Because we listen to our constituents, say, what's important to you? What do you want? What's important to you? From the entrepreneurial standpoint, from the consumer standpoint, from the patient standpoint, to places like this. So, because again, every single year, the lawmakers are trying to shut some portion of cannabis down. Every single year, they're trying to take something away. Every single year, they're trying to put on more and more restrictions on a freaking planet. So, with that being said, we do have a very special guest tonight, and he is running for political office, and moving right away, he's running for Maricopa County Sheriff. And this gentleman right here, Mike Crawford, is running for Maricopa County Sheriff. He cares about the cannabis community, which is why he's here. So I'm going to shut up and I'm going to turn the mic over to him and give him a few minutes.
Hands free, just like with your drive. Okay. So, Julie kind of said it tongue in cheek, but last thing you want to do is get high and listen to attorney. Guess what? I was a cop for 28 and a half years. I was a DEA agent in New Mexico. DEA, yes. I was speaking with a gentleman that owned this wine establishment, and this is awesome. This is the first time I've been here. I live in North Glendale, so this is not like right around the corner for me. I have to travel a lot when I'm campaigning, but these types of events are amazing. And being able to talk to you guys is a true pleasure and a gift. And thank you guys for allowing me and for NORML for setting it up. Thank you. So the last NORML meeting I attended, my introduction was, hello, potheads. So, I have a sense of humor. I'm not a politician, please. I'm a cop. That's a good thing, okay? Whatever you think about cops, it's just as diverse as this group here. People have different ideas and feelings of everything, right? And where they come from in life and whatever. I grew up on the Navajo Indian Reservation. I actually speak Navajo. When I was a DEA agent, I was cross-certified on the Navajo Indian Reservation, which is very difficult. My heritage is Scottish. This is my wife, Jamie. She's amazing. So I grew up on the reservation, and I speak a native tongue. She's actually First Nations Mohawk Indian, is what you guys would know as. And she grew up here and doesn't speak native at all. I wasn't raised around her native tradition, so we're a good match. That's pretty cool. I understand the native peoples and how they were raised. We studied it in school, and it was an amazing opportunity. This is Mother Earth, correct? Okay. I usually don't go too religious, but the majority of this country is Christian-based. Another very large part of this community is earth-based. Our native tribes and things believe in the earth and whatnot. They actually intermingle. So where do I come from? I'm a Christian person, and I believe. I also believe in cannabis, and this is how I justify it. If you don't believe in a Christian faith, that's fine. The Bible is the oldest book ever, correct? Look at it as a historical document. How did our ancestors view cannabis and things of the earth? It's in Genesis chapter 1, verse 29. God said, "Behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is on the face of all the earth, every tree with seed in its fruit. You shall have them for food." What is cannabis? It's a plant. It's an herb. It has a seed. It comes from the earth. It was placed here for us. Everything on this earth, originally from the earth, is here for us to use. Okay? Even poison ivy sucks, but there are medicinal uses for poison ivy. They found it. Cannabis is the same way. Now that they're finally pulling their head out of their collective ass in Washington, D.C., they're looking at recategorizing marijuana. I think it's still in process, so that we could bring it down the scale and actually start doing some research to find more that we already know. The good benefits of cannabis, hemp, and everything that can be used in our society to help our earth. Using natural products is better for our earth and better for our environment. So these guys that own this place, I'm talking to them and I said, have you been getting a bunch of crap from the city? You know, what is your relationship? I asked permission and they said I could talk about it. They have an open citation right now from the city of Tempe. They're waiting to go to court. I think they've spent tens of thousands of dollars through attorneys already. No dig. Their attorney's trying to defend this. Tempe, from what I understand, and it's my belief, I have not read the citation and statute, but they're saying that this place is too close to a school and selling tobacco. Is there any tobacco in here? There's a sign out there that says no tobacco allowed. It's cannabis, tobacco. No. It's closer to basil or rosemary than actual tobacco that's smoked and rolled. Then they put all the additives and sugars and carcinogens in cigarettes to make it addictive, right? We all know this. It's been proven in court. I don't know how many times. So their decision was to err on the side against freedom. What was this country founded on? How much tea did they throw in the market just to piss off about a 3% tax? Oh God, I wish we could pay 3% taxes nowadays. Our government's out of control, and people that get in these positions of supposed power that are supposed to represent you have completely forgotten who the hell they work for. You're in charge. In this country, the people are the power. We gave power to the states to rule over certain things, commerce, legislative things, and our protection for us, to represent us. The states came together and combined the United States, gave the federal government power to handle federal issues like borders and military and intercountry commerce and things like that. They're supposed to represent us for those issues. They forget where the power comes from. It comes from the people. When the federal government fails, it falls back to the states. When the states fail, it comes down to us. We are in charge. Now, I already told you I was a cop for 20 and a half years. Before that, I was in the military. I'm the only person running for sheriff that ever served in the military. I was a commissioned officer. I served overseas in England. I saw the fall of the Berlin Wall when I was in Europe. You know, the end of the Cold War. I was there for the Desert Shield, Desert Storm. Came back to the United States. I planned on being a mechanic in the Air Force my whole life. I loved it. It was so much fun. In 1991, I was in Florida, Cocoa Beach. I know sounds rough. Patrick Air Force Base is now Patrick Space Force Base, I found out. I was on the flight line working on my airplane and I got struck by lightning. Don't recommend it. Freaking hurts. It hurts today. I was 21 years old. When did I fit in time to be a cop? After that, I went home and healed up. And I broke 3 vertebrae and crushed 9 discs in my back. You get electrocuted, every muscle in your body flexes. Well, all my muscles along my spine flexed and crushed my spine. I broke my own back. It still is. AJ was talking about people on opioids. The great VA healthcare system, they love to throw pills at you, just like, you know, the civilians. I'm allergic to Oxycontin and oxycodone, so the hardest thing I could take was vitamins. I was taking 12 a day for 15 years. I'm pretty damn tough, because that would kill most people's kidneys and liver, let alone the lightning and everything else that I did. But I haven't taken an opioid in 8 years. Right. And so you know, I was a cop, taking 12 vitamins a day, riding a motorcycle. I was a motorcycle cop for 18 years. I know, I'm not helping my case on it. Wait, I was a DUI motorcycle cop. I'm not bullshitting you guys. You can look it up. But I am the person you need who's talking to you today. I can answer any question you have from a real life standpoint. I was a certified Harley-Davidson mechanic before I went in the military. I've ridden with a lot of different clubs and things and organizations. I belong to a club now. It's not a 1% club, but we understand the differences in that. But I do get along with them because I understand their viewpoints too. I've spoken in front of large motorcycle groups as well. But what I'm getting to is, had I used even CBD, no THC, just CBD, as a motorcycle cop, instead of the Vicodins, 12 Vicodins a day, I'd have been fired. They would have taken away my certification. I could have never been a cop again for taking CBD. I could if I was a fireman, but we won't start that fight. They don't trust us. But they were good with me taking 12 vitamins. They put me through the field sobriety test. They tested me to make sure it wasn't impairing me. I've been taking them for so damn long. I could take 5 at a time and it didn't even faze me. I felt nothing, no effects of it, no pupillary reactions or anything. My body was so used to it. That sucks. What was more healthy for me? CBDs, CBNs, or Vicodin? It's a manufactured man-made thing. I'm asking the wrong group. So what I'm saying is, our freedoms and our ability to choose as adults, we're Americans. Thank God we were born here, but we have to fight for it. Freedom is expensive. A lot of times it costs a lot of your time to fight these things. They don't make any freaking sense. Why would they cite these guys when there's no tobacco here? Cannabis is not a tobacco. It's not labeled tobacco. It's never been called a tobacco. In any writings that I can find, I look. Smartphones. So why would they do that? Why would they err on the side of screw you instead of your freedom?
Ignorance.
Ignorance, power, and It's the wrong way to try and figure it out. They decided they're gonna write the citation, let it get all fought out, and then the lawyers and judges can decide. That's the wrong way to do it. That's the wrong way to do things, because it tramples on people's rights. Say these guys pay 30 grand in legal fees. Are they gonna get that back? No. Does the city care? No. They don't. So another thing we looked into and was talking to them about, there's a bar in the same parking lot. They serve liquor and alcohol, correct? Not here. Calls for service. Police departments need to look at who's a pain in the ass. You know, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? So if you have somebody that's causing a lot of problems in the neighborhood, the police will usually focus their efforts there to get that knocked down. This is the backwards instance. How many calls for service have you guys had at TPPD? None. That's a pretty simple number. The bar next door. 30 to 35 in the last 30 to 45 days. That's a big difference. It's a big difference. So why are they screwing with these guys? For the tobacco issue, when there's no tobacco here. This is a huge problem. This seems like kind of a weird corporate thing, right? It doesn't affect you. If they weren't paying $30,000 in legal fees, what do you think your dues here would be? Probably a little lower. It always affects the damn consumer, right? You're the consumer. This is your club. This is what they're having to deal with. This is government out of control. I've served you my whole life. I was a volunteer fireman at 14, went into the military at 18, became a cop at 21. I retired 3 years ago after 20.5 years of service. I've never stepped over the line because my parents, my grandparents taught me, when you get a job, don't piss off your boss. I got a lot of bosses. I work for the government. You are all my bosses. My job is to serve you, not reign over you. That's not how things are done. That's why the Pilgrims left England with the king, right? Look what's happening here now. We're going the wrong way. We need to address issues. Sending people to the Senate is a damn good thing for us to represent Arizona. But that's like cleaning up the neighborhood and letting your house go rotten. Maricopa County is our home. This is our home. The number one law enforcement officer in every county is the sheriff. In the United States Constitution, there's 2 law enforcement officers, the President of the United States and the county sheriff. Who else in this state, other than the county sheriff, has United States constitutional authority to enforce the law? No one. Not the governor, Secretary of State, or the Attorney General. This is why it's so important to have a good, honest person as your sheriff, and somebody who's reasonable. The law is based on reasonableness. It's supposed to. You read a statute, and they press you. They teach you this in school. Julie, tell you. Apply it with reason. Would a reasonable group of people think that this was illegal? Would a reasonable group of people believe this is normal or not? Okay? It's based on being reasonable. Reason has left the chat room, folks. These people are so hungry for power and authority and money, it's gone. We have to fight that. Let's say the DEA came in here right now.
Mike, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
I don't cut you off.
No, you're fine.
I want to ask you a pointed question that's come on before. What is your stance on the Second Amendment and cannabis consumers?
Okay, that's a good one. So the federal form says something about being addicted, correct, to illegal drugs. In Arizona, where we live, the state, we're the people, Arizona's the state, right? Remember the hierarchy. Is marijuana an illegal drug in Arizona? No. Why? Because we said so. Correct? Who passed that law? We did. The people. The voters. Correct? Hierarchy. The people. The state. The federal government. Remember? The feds say it's illegal. Guess what? We're in Arizona. We voted to make it legal. Is marijuana or cannabis an illegal drug? No. My answer to the Second Amendment is simple. That federal form that says you can't buy a firearm if you're addicted, is marijuana addictive? That's right. But I don't think so. Some people say it is, but they don't tell us. So, it's not illegal. It's not addictive. This is Arizona, baby. You can buy all the firearms you want, in my opinion. I would not arrest someone for purchasing a firearm that uses regularly, daily cannabis. Because in Arizona, it's not illegal. It's not an addictive drug. Too bad. That's my statement. Because I applied reasonableness. Yes.
Well, I just wanted, before we finish.
Yes. Clarify.
If we like what we've heard, how do we support you?
So, I have a website. It's CrawfordForSheriff.com. All letters. I'm on Facebook. My Crawford for Sheriff. There's some flyers here. It has my email address that goes directly to me. The phone number is her cell phone. She screens my calls for me. She's the CEO of me. The reason for that is I was still working as a cop whenever I first started running, and I couldn't take political phone calls while I was on the job because that's not fair to you. You're paying me to be a cop, not run for a sheriff. So I would wait. She would hold all my calls until I got off duty, and then I would go in the campaign. All right. I never muddy those waters. Can't, because that's dishonest.
Okay, follow-up question. So we're voting for pro-cannabis candidates, right? What ballot will we find you on?
I will be on the Republican primary ballot. If your party not determined or independent, you can request either party's ballot. I don't vote party. Vote the right person into office for everybody. Okay? Guess what? We don't belong to the same party. But we're at the same party. Why? Why? Because we have similar beliefs on several issues. Maybe not all. I know not. I don't have the same agreements with her. I've been married to her, we've known each other for 25 years. But that's what makes life good. We can still conversate and still be good.
What is your position on right restoration?
Right restoration. How many felons in it? Just don't. People have been charged with felonies for things they did in the past. All right? When you're young, you're supposed to make mistakes, right? That's when you're supposed to do it, so you can learn and maybe not make those same mistakes when you're older. That's part of growing up. Some people, they make bigger mistakes than others. Guess what? You do your time, make it on parole and probation, whatever. You've killed your number. You're done. How many times do you have to keep paying for that car? How many times do you have to keep paying that bill that you've already paid? It's time to move on. We, together, have helped a lot of people restore their rights to regain their ability to vote and be citizens and carry firearms. I've helped numerous felons get their rights back to carry firearms. People look at me in the law enforcement community and say, "What the hell are you doing, bro? You're on our team." It's not like that. I'm on your team, the people. I vote too. When we go to vote here in early ballots will be on Friday in the mail. 80% of people in Arizona vote early ballot. You get your ballot starting Friday. It's that close. The primary is in 30 days. It was on my birthday, August 6th, and he stole it. So this will be an early birthday present, I hope. That's what we plan on. But the biggest thing, guys, I'm a reasonable person. I haven't broken the law, and you need that in a law enforcement officer. How many times do we vote for people and all they do is go and take advantage of the laws that they're supposed to be upholding our rights, and they're violating our rights. They're getting arrested, they're doing all kinds of dirty crap. Are you tired of that? I am. How many times do you go to the ballot and you have to hold your nose and you're like, shit, which one's the least asshole? You know what I mean? I'm fed up with that. That's why I decided to run. I'm a clean guy. I'm not a nerd. I get it. I already told you I grew up on the red, so you guys can write.
Questions?
Yeah, perfect. Does anybody have any cop questions or traffic? I taught law in traffic on the police academy. Ask me anything. I don't care. Ask me about DEA time, anything. I'm an open book, and I'm dead on, so I'll tell you everything. Anybody? Come on. My first hand-to-hand buy was to from a 13-year-old kid, about a quarter-pound of weed, and I put his dad in prison for 25 years. His dad was forcing him to sell drugs. I know, to stay at his home. We found out he was sleeping outside in the doghouse.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was. And I was damn happy to send that guy to prison. There was a lot of other things going on to him. You guys want to hear any other stories?
I have a question.
Yes.
It's not cannabis related.
Doesn't matter.
Can I interrupt? Sure. Can you stick around and answer the non-cannabis question for our meeting?
Sure. Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much. I really respect you guys for being here and allowing me into your home and to speak with you. I support you 100%. Cannabis is not a drug. It was given to us to use as a food for our brains, for our body. We have natural cannabinoid receptors in our body. We were made to receive it. It's time to let everybody else finally get on board and understand. I do. All right. Thank you guys.
I do want to go on the record and say that how many normal meetings across the country have law enforcement officials come in that want to speak to our community, that want to hear from you, that doesn't happen. And Arizona NORML stands 100% behind him. So he is definitely our number one pick, and he's here for a reason.
And I'm not afraid to be seen here or seen with you guys. I don't care.
It's
Take
advisory,
pictures.
so yeah.
And I have yard signs too, if you want to post those up. I didn't bring a whole bunch of stuff.
He'll stick around and answer questions on that. I forgot what else already had. Yes. All right. We have a couple of events coming up. So one of the things about what's that? Okay. All right. So for those who picked this meeting, we are not having our next meeting here. We're moving into a different location. So we'll post up on our social medias about that. A couple of other events coming up. Meet coming up here soon. Next meeting will be at Jared's home. If anybody needs help, real quick, please let me get this. If anybody needs help registering to vote, I have the QR code that you can register to vote. You guys have a registration? No. Okay. But there's QR code registration to vote. So if you found that's more education.